All right, and welcome to Hockey Talk with
Angel
and the Ice Devil, live tonight again from our Arizona home away from home in the Chandler Ice Den. As you can see behind us, the rink is empty at the moment, but it was busy earlier and it'll be busy later as always.
Oh, yes.
So welcome in tonight. We got some great guests. We're talking goalie week.
Right.
So we have a couple of good goalies coming in. Our first goalie is from the ASU women's team.
Yes. And
I'm putting you on the spot. Jordan Nash-Boulden.
she has like a long name. For such a little tiny girl, she has a long name. Sorry, Jordan.
So Jordan will be up first tonight, and we really thank him for coming out and talking goalie hockey with us. Following Jordan is going to be the head coach and director of hockey at GCU.
Yes, Mr. Danny Roy, who is a goalie himself, or was a goalie himself.
Yeah, and we talked to Danny a little bit tonight about not only goalies, being a goalie, but how the coach deals with goalies.
Right. Right.
So really exciting in that part of it. I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about playoff hockey. We got NHL playoffs going on. We got USHL playoffs going on. Of course, there's two Arizona State recruits playing tonight. One for Chicago Steel that a lot of Arizona folks already know of, Mr. Johnny Walker, right here in Ahwatukee.
Mm-hmm.
So that game is going on as we speak. It's Sioux City, I believe, and Chicago. We also had just finished up the World Championship.
Yes.
With Sweden taking home the gold medal, and of course
yeah.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Yep.
And we'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Oliver Ekman-Larsson's younger brother Kevin has now signed a contract to be a Roadrunner.
It's going to be exciting. Yes,
it's going to be a fun year in hockey for us. So, also want to thank the Chandler Ice Den as always, and our special guest tonight, who really isn't a guest; it's more of a item. But
yes,
here we are.
Oxypow.
Thanks, Oxypow, for stepping up with us tonight. And we'll be right back tonight with our first guest of the night, Joe Bo, the goalie.
Yes, the goalie.
The Ice Den Scottsdale has always been the coolest place in the desert. Now with the addition of the Ice Den Chandler, our two locations hosting 5 sheets of ice make the Ice Den your home for youth, travel, and adult hockey leagues. Our nationally recognized Learn to Skate programs offer world-class instruction for skaters of all ages. Our Pro Shop features equipment and apparel with the top hockey and figure skating brands. 18 Degrees Express with the Chili Bean Cafe make the Ice Den the perfect place to host your next birthday party or special event. Visit us online at coyotesice.com.
All right, and we're back with our first segment of Hockey Talk with
Angel
and the Ice Devil, and our special guest today from the Arizona State University women's hockey team, the goaltender, because it's goalie week here at Hockey Talk, Jordan Nash-Boulden. Jordan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Jordan, let's talk a little bit about your goalie career. You started off as an Arizona native, learning the game right here in the desert, right?
I did, yeah. I think I first got into the game just watching the Coyotes, and I kind of wanted to do that. That was my first kind of introduction into it, and I remember it was the big thing when I was little that all my friends would have ice skating birthday parties at the Ice Den, and I was never the kid that knew how to skate. I was always hanging onto the boards or getting somebody to tow me around, and eventually my mom was like, if you want to stick with this, you need to get in to learn to skate, and branched off eventually. So you take the general learn to skate, and then they put you either in figure skating or pre-hockey, and all the other girls my age went with the figure skates, and I put the shin pads on. So, and then I did house league up at Caja. My first year I was actually a right wing. I wanted to be like Shane Doan.
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah, I guess. And then I didn't score any goals. I think my lifetime I ended up with about 2 penalty minutes, and that was my total career stat sheet. And none of the boys would pass to me. It was a co-ed team, but the skill level, I totally wasn't close. I'm willing to admit that, and so I switched ends of the spectrum, and I'm like, well, I figure if I can't score, I might as well not let them score. So I'm stuck with it.
So that leads you all the way into Arizona State University. And what was your thoughts when Lindsay Ellis came to you and said, I'm starting a hockey team at ASU?
Yeah, I initially heard about the program, and at this point I think I was junior, maybe started my senior year, and I was playing high school hockey, and I actually reached out to her about the program and said, hey, I'm interested. I'd been talking to other coaches, and unfortunately I didn't get a lot of interest back, so I was kind of at the stage where I was like, am I even going to have a shot to play college hockey? So it was good to hear from her, and to be able to have her. She came out to one of my high school games and watched the team, and ended up going from there, and that was pretty cool. And especially both my parents are Sun Devils, so keeping it in the family, and they love it to have the maroon and gold in the house.
So now you're starting your sophomore year, correct? And I hear you're majoring in exercise physiology, or
exercise and wellness is what ASU calls it. That's the major track. There's sort of a split between exercise and wellness and kinesiology.
Okay.
Kind of along the same lines. You take some of the same classes, but the EXW program is more for sports, like athletic training, which is kind of what I want to do, and kinesiology is more the science and medical side of it. So my roommate actually started out a kinesiology major, and so that was kind of interesting to have the two sides in the same room, but I'm happy with my choice so far.
Very cool.
So we talked about how you got started. You told us how you got started playing goalie, but what's it like at the collegiate level when those guys are shooting pucks? First of all, let's go step backwards. What's it like to have Casey McGinley shoot the puck at you?
She's a little scary. The first couple times she comes down, especially because I'm not the biggest. So when you get someone that's a good several inches taller than you, just in a full wind-up, you get a little bit nervous sometimes. But, it's kind of a learning curve with everything, and I think that's where I started when I was with high school too. Some of the boys shoot pretty hard, so
right.
Once you realize it's just another shot and it won't hurt you, you'll be fine.
But didn't you just at goalie demo day get some new pads or something
did,
like
yeah.
that? So that'll help you a little bit with those shots, right?
I picked up a full set. It's the break-in process is going to be interesting this summer. That's my least favorite part of getting new gear, but every time they come out with a new model, it's more flexible, faster, more protective. Just they do a lot of work into making sure that it's worth your while to continue to upgrade sets. So I'm excited for that.
It's fun.
So for those that didn't see your team play last year, give us a little recap about the season, and you guys had to really throw the thing all together, right? And you had to make some travel trips right away.
Yeah.
But then it ended up pretty great, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was our first year, so we kind of had to go everywhere to play everybody, and so it was very travel heavy. And we had 2 home exhibition games at the very beginning of the season, and then we had 2 home games at the very end of the season that actually counted. So it was funny when I was trying to talk to my family members. They're like, "When can we come watch a game?" I'm like, "Well, you have 1 weekend, so make it count." But
Hope you're free.
Yeah, it was fun. We got the whole family down here, but that was cool. I think everybody came out to support everyone that had family local or within driving distance. So we were able to get a pretty good turnout, and that definitely helped to see that many people in the stands for us. But this coming season, we're supposed to get back on track with more home games, so that'll be easier for us. And the less class we have to miss, the better, because you're still a student athlete as much as the athlete part is more fun.
So tell us about that road trip, or one of the first road trips. I know everybody I talked to so far on your team said it was a real bonding experience for you guys to go to Colorado and Minnesota and everywhere else that you traveled to.
Yeah, I think the first travel trip was definitely kind of a feeling out process for everybody. And a lot of us knew each other because we had prospect camps and things before the season actually got underway. So you had an opportunity to kind of meet the other girls in the locker room, and a lot of us knew each other from playing before, because the girls hockey community in Arizona isn't the biggest, so it's you know a lot of people. So we were excited about that, and going into the first couple trips just kind of gave us an opportunity to mesh a little bit, and I'm really happy with the team, and everyone gets along very well, and it feels like a family more than anything. So.
Speaking of that, though, are you amazed at how fast ladies hockey, girls hockey is growing in Arizona right now?
I really am. Yeah. It's awesome to see, and especially because when I first started, there was a lack of girls hockey, and I started in co-ed and finished out playing high school boys, but now to see the opportunities for girls just popping up is awesome, and just because I never had those opportunities, but everyone that's going along that path now has it pretty awesome.
Let's talk about your goaltending style, being your size. Obviously, quickness is a key to you. I've watched you play enough games to know that you're very quick. So tell us how you play the game and what you do to keep the puck out of the net.
Yeah, obviously, being 5'4" is it's not an advantage playing higher levels of hockey, and I think that was something I came across kind of all throughout my playing career was going to these camps, and my competition was always just a good couple inches, sometimes like a head taller than me.
And probably a tiny bit whiter.
Yeah, just a little bit, yeah. But yeah, just having to alter the way that I play, and knowing that when you go down in the butterfly, you're not going to get that coverage up above your shoulders. So just adding that patience to stay on your feet as long as you can, and when you drop down, like you said, just the quickness and athleticism really comes into play there, and just trying to take advantage of what I'm good at and stay away from any dangerous situations, so to speak.
So tell us, with all the NHL goaltenders right now wanting to play the puck a lot, is that something that you desire to do too?
I don't play it as much as some other people, but I work on that skill with my goalie coach. I think that's important. Maybe not to the degree that, say, Mike Smith goes out and plays the puck. That makes me nervous, but just if you've been watching the playoffs at all, like Pecorine,
right,
for Nashville, but it's such a good skill to have if you can have your goaltender be like a third defenseman back there, and the way that like the Ducks played against Nashville, where teams that play that aggressive break-in strategy, trying to dump the puck around the boards, to be able to get back there and neutralize that play and set your team up for a breakout is really important. So just continuing to work on that, and stopping the puck is one thing, but actually getting to play it is another.
Well, you can also be a big asset, especially with the numbers that you guys had this year. If you can play the puck, because you guys were pretty short on numbers, you'll be a lot better this year, I'm sure. But last year, it was a benefit, right, if you could play the puck up the ice a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. Just to get that started, and like you said, with sort of a short bench, running 3 or 4 defensemen was not an advantage at sometimes, but just to be able to continue to keep the play moving and bide your team some time as well, that's important.
So tell us what a typical game day looks like. Do you have like any superstitions like
Oh,
most
good
goalies
one.
do,
Yeah.
or do you eat Wheaties, or I mean, what do you do for your game day traditions?
Not really any specific breakfast of champions for me, but I'm not a very superstitious goalie. There are some that are just very in their heads about it, but I think it's important that the less superstitions you have, the better. I think that's the way that I approach things, because the more little things you have to do, the more little things can go wrong and sort of get in your head, and even if it doesn't matter, you'll sort of throw yourself off before you even step on the ice. So I listen to music before the game, but I don't have a playlist, or I don't put my gear on left to right.
I've been told that Casey McGinley's got the playlist.
Yeah, she does. She's the locker room DJ, but she does her job very well.
So tell us, we're in the middle of summer right now. We're just starting summer. So tell us what your plans are. What are you going to do between now and the fall to prepare yourself for another season?
Yeah, that's the hard part in Arizona. Is ice is very expensive. It's kind of few and far between. So just taking advantage of what I can get, and I think it's important for everybody, not just goalies, that during the off season to just continue to take steps to be ready for next season, even if it's not on the ice. To just do cardio, to do anything at home that you can to keep moving toward being prepared. I think I heard it somewhere where if you take like a week off, it's very damaging, and obviously it's a little more difficult with summer vacation and things like that to stay active. But just I go out to stick time. I work with my goalie coaches, and when I'm not on the ice, I'm running, or just continuing to try and fight the summer blues there as far as that goes.
Let's talk about your goalie coaches. Tell us who you've been working with and who's been instrumental in bringing you to the point that you're at.
Well, obviously, in season, I work with Kaylee Marina, or we know her Gibber.
Right.
Yeah, I work with Gibber, and she's great. And then in the off season, and for the last couple of years, I've been working with Jeff Tecca out out of Arcadia usually. A couple times we'll switch, but I've been working with him, I think, for about 6 years. And I remember the very first time that I met him, he was having a free clinic at Arcadia, and he made me look like Swiss cheese. And my dad said, we need to hire this guy. And so it kind of took off after that, and he's definitely been a big help, especially because I think when I started, I was probably about 12. So just technically getting from where I was as a beginner to where I am now is, I credit a lot to him, and especially playing high school hockey, you don't have a goalie coach.
Right.
Your coaches know a little bit about it, but not enough to really say anything more than good job or change something, but they can't really tell you what to change. So.
Perfect.
So tell us a little bit. We got to end on the big rivalry that's going to happen this year for you guys. You got a cross-town rivalry. You can open the season with them, I think, right?
Yeah, I think we do. From what I looked at the schedule, but.
So for those of you that don't know, it's Grand Canyon University's first year of the women's program, and it's going to be for bragging rights of Phoenix, right?
I guess so, yeah. I wouldn't really consider it a rivalry yet. We haven't played them, but it's definitely nice to have someone in the state that you can sort of build that record with, and who knows, down the line it might turn into something like that, but I think right now we're just sort of approaching it as a friendly opponent and going from there.
Sure.
Well, Jordan, we certainly appreciate your time, and I'm glad you made the drive down here for us, and
Yes, thank you.
good luck this summer, and good luck in the season. We'll definitely see you all season long.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back. All right, and we're back with our weekly segment called Who's in the House, where we get to speak with a special guest. We got something really unique for you tonight, folks. So without any further ado, Angel, who's in the house?
Well, thank you, Scott. Tonight it's not really who's in the house, it's what's in the house. And what's in the house tonight are these fantastic Oxy-Pow products. I said that, Oxy-Pow products. We've got just a few samples here that Oxy-Pow has generously given us to try out, and I have to say they're amazing. If you haven't tried their Oxy-Pow spray that literally gets the funk out, you need to try this. It is the only thing that works to get the goalie funk out, or the hockey funk out, or the dog funk out, or the car funk out. It's not just hockey specific, but of course, since this is a hockey show, the newest product that we are helping out with is his Silky Grip Hockey Stick Wax. As you can tell by the t-shirts we've been wearing all night long, this stuff has been had amazing reviews, and if you would like to try any of these items, you can go to oxypow.com and take a look and let us know how they work.
Crime can happen to anyone at any time. Be a role model for the next generation. Become empowered. This is true life insurance.
All right, and we're back with segment 2 of Hockey Talk with
Angel?
and the Ice Devil, live here from the Chandler Ice Den again. Another beautiful night in Arizona, and part 2 of Goalie Week is the head coach of the Grand Canyon University Lopes, Danny Roy. Danny, welcome to the show again.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Love having you on, and I know I gave you a short notice today by that, but I kept thinking in the back of my head, who's another goalie I know? And I figured you had some goalie knowledge, so welcome back, and tell us a little bit about your experience growing up as a goalie.
Well, naturally, I wasn't a goalie. I started playing hockey at 6 years old, roller hockey, then led into ice hockey at about 9, 10 years old. And then around 12, during one of our summer breaks, we'd have little summer scrimmages, and there's never a second goalie to join the skates. So the rink had some gear in the storage. I threw it on, and just by natural athletic ability, I was able to play goalie. And then, of course, one of my friends on the team, I was like, well, you should just play goalie for us next year. And I went back home, told my mom I wanted to play goalie, and she begged me not to. She said I'd regret it. But I mean, it's what I wanted to do, and we ended up buying some pads. And actually, my first set of goalie pads that I ever owned were Minori owned.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she's,
That's not so bad.
no, she was playing roller hockey on a women's team with my mom, and they were the set of pads that Heaton had made for the Nagano games.
Okay.
And they got them to her too late, so she couldn't break them in time before they
Right.
took off. So I ended up getting them from
Wow.
her.
I didn't
quite the
expect to
story.
go down that
Yeah.
road, but that's
I
good.
wish I still had them.
I was gonna ask if you still had 'em.
I thrashed them to the point to where they could barely hang on, and I ended up getting rid of them. And now I wish I would have kept them. But yeah, I from 12 all the way up to 19 years old in my first year of junior college, I played both goalie and player. So if I was on a team where there was two of us, and it was the other guy's game, I would have my player gear with me, whether it was a home or away. But I'd also have to bring my goalie gear just in case,
right.
if I had to suit up for an injury. So yeah, I've played every position, but as I got older, of course, goalie was the one that stuck. I kind of had to pick something a little more solid and normal. So yeah.
So you get to ASU and you got Coach Bowers, who is a goalie, right? So that kind of makes for conversation at least, right? You guys can share goalie stories a little bit. No,
Not so much. Yeah, I get that a lot. I get that just goalie in general. Like,
Right.
Hey, he's a goalie. You know him. Like almost like it's like we have kind of a goalie
Special
club
goalie bonds.
out there. Yeah, not so much. I did know that Greg was a goalie before I got there. Of course, anytime you're looking into going into a program, you do a little research on who might be your coach at some point. And I knew him kind of based on that, but also my coach that coached me at my first year of junior college played for U of A.
Right.
The same time that Greg was playing for ASU.
Okay.
So I kind of knew him on that level as well as far as that rivalry.
So as a head coach now in your position at Grand Canyon, how does dealing with goalies differ, if at all, from the rest of your team? I mean, they're a different breed, right?
Yeah, they're what we call mental midgets. Some guys just naturally are just super solid, but some guys you gotta really make sure they understand why things are the way they are, or communicate with them and make sure they want to know if they're starting that weekend during practice, or they're just like, hey, if you tell me the day of, I'm fine with that. I mean, it's understandable. It's a mental position.
Sure.
Right.
It's the one position where you're almost alone.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you have all 5 guys on the ice helping you out as well, but I mean, you got one job. You're not scoring goals for the team. You're not breaking the puck out most of the time unless you play the puck. But your one job is keep that puck out of the net, whatever happens. And any goalie, any good goalie will probably tell you, like, even if a goal was probably not something they could have stopped or done differently, they probably could think back on that in their head and go, I could have done this differently. So yeah, it's nice to have been a goalie and now a coach.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about the goalies that you've recruited. You just recruited another goalie, correct? Did I just see you guys post that?
We just signed a second goalie.
Okay.
So we've
And he's from Bozeman or no?
So the first goalie we signed is from he's from Alberta.
Okay.
And then he played in the AJHL for Calgary Mustangs. he just came down here for a visit and went back home, loved it. And then the second goalie that we just signed yesterday his name's Lincoln Riley. He's from Gillette, Wyoming.
That's right.
So he played for Gillette Wild, which is where our captain Brett Kramer played.
Yes.
So
Right.
Brett knew him. Brett let me know, hey, Lincoln's looking to come here.
Right.
He had already submitted his application, never let me know.
Wow.
I had been talking to Lincoln the year before,
Right.
and he chose to play another year of juniors, or at least play his eligibility out. But I'm very happy that he did decide to come down this way, because he's a strong goalie, and both goalies we got are very strong. So, and there's a few more kind of on that borderline of submitting their commitment letters. So both teams are going to have very good goaltending, which is the way I wanted to build
That's
the
amazing.
program last year.
Yeah.
The way, and one thing is really unique, I think, in the situation we're in. When I started Ice Time, and I wanted to focus on hockey in the Desert Southwest, I was struggling to find quality, okay? And 18 months later, I see you guys competing for players. I mean, I go to UNLV and they're going like, oh yeah, I hear so-and-so's looking at so-and-so. And I come to Grand Canyon and I find out so-and-so's looking at so-and-so. So did you think in 18 months that you were going to have not only the program that you have, but also the competition for players like you're seeing right now?
I mean, it's a small market.
Right.
Still, no matter how many players there are out there are a lot of players out there. There are a lot of ACHA schools over 500.
Right.
But I mean, also players are looking at going to the schools that are competitive in
Right.
the ACHA.
Yep.
And we want to be competitive, so we're most likely going after the same players that
Right.
they're
Sure.
looking at, because we want to be at that level right now. But yeah, one of the goalies that they signed, I had actually talked to last year, Great
Right.
Efforts.
Yeah.
So he signed with them. But yeah, it's I mean, it's expected. You're not going to get everybody you recruit. But that's the game.
The other thing that's kind of cool that I'm seeing is that, especially with your program, you're raising the level, okay? Everybody's got you on the radar now, and they know that you're going to be competing, and they're all trying to bring their programs up, which in turn makes for a great Desert Southwest ACHA D2, D3, D1 level, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, regardless of what the record said last year, we were a regional bound team.
Yeah,
regardless.
absolutely.
A little bit of effect because of the injury on what we were able to do on the ice, but I mean, because this is a goalie topic right now, our goalie last season, I mean, Mike Norris just stepped up and stood on his head. I mean, I could say that for, I mean, even just in general, our goalies were very, they competed, they got a lot of shots, and I give that to them. But yeah, Mike, I kind of had him there on barely making the roster, coming out of our June prospect camp, and I talked to him after that camp, and I told him, hey, this is what we need to see, and this is what needs to happen. And he came out in September and was like a completely different goalie. And he just competes and competes and competes and doesn't care about what's happening, doesn't care about the kind of shots he's seeing. And he definitely helped us a ton, and it's very important. Like I said, I wanted to build the team last year from the back end out. Unfortunately, that's not what the way it happened. But this year is starting to look like that. So we should have a good back end, and that's what's going to at least keep us moving forward.
When we were over at Behind the Mask goalie demo day last weekend, I saw your captain out there being a shooter, and he was testing some guys pretty well. So tell us a little bit. I know we're talking goalies, but tell us a little bit about Brett and what he's meant to your program, because he's been pretty special, hasn't he?
Yeah. No, he's probably from the day he called me on the phone, was like, Coach, I want to go to GCU. I'm going to go play for you guys. And I was like, awesome. I had a really good conversation with him on the phone. Could tell automatically the kind of person he was. He came in right away each one of our prospect camps that first year.
Right.
And those the prospect camps, you're going to get every kind of player, just because, and I encourage any kind of player to come out to a prospect camp and get extra ice and feedback, things like that. But I mean, there were some players out there who probably were a lot lower level.
Right.
But you could see him out there encouraging guys to keep going, tapping them on the shins, helping everybody feel like they belong.
Yeah.
And that's just the kind of person that he is. It's just natural to him, which was a big reason that led into us choosing to make him a captain, because it's the culture that we want to build.
Yeah, absolutely.
We want a good attitude, guys who want to be here, guys who want other guys to step up and also contribute. And he wasn't the perfect captain.
All right.
He is a maturity thing for him as well, and we talked about it. But I reassured him that he is with us for 4 years, and we want to build this team around him, just because of the support that he's put towards the program, and he's helping it his way as far as talking to guys and helping in the recruiting process, because let's face it, your players are also some of your best recruiters.
Sure. Absolutely.
But he's a great player, competes. He played every single game.
Yeah.
Never complained that he was hurt, and he was probably hurt a few times pretty badly. And then just you talking about him peppering the goalies, his shot is his shot's amazing.
Really is.
When he lets his snapshot go, it just gets off quick and it's hard, and it surprises guys by how kind of scrawny and small he looks.
Yeah.
He's excited about this year because he's more of an offensive defenseman.
Right.
He likes to jump up in the play, likes to be an offensive force for us, and he's going to be able to do that now with some big stay-at-home defensemen that we're going to be able to pair him with. So he's jacked. Every time I announce a player coming in, he's the first person I get a text message from, just going, "Let's do it. Let's go."
That's awesome.
So,
Well, not only that, but there's two other things I want to touch on Brett. Number one is the first thing he told me when I talked to him earlier this spring was, I got to get my schoolwork done. I got to have a certain GPA because I want scholarship money.
Yep.
So there's your student athlete part of it. The second thing is, I understand he recruited his sister to come down to help out the women's team as well. Is that a fact?
He obviously played a part in that. She maybe didn't like where she was completely, but she was content.
Right.
She was playing NCAA Division III hockey, and I pushed him a little bit on that. I was like, hey, let's just see. She knows Coach Rossi. Let's see if they both could talk to each other, and you never know. And so we have two Kramers.
Kramer
Both
versus Kramer?
Both are number 26.
Wow.
I don't want to project anything, but both could be our captains.
Right.
And both kind of act like they don't want to be the same as each other.
Yeah.
Right.
That'll be fun. It's going to be fun to see.
So tell us a little bit about what the summer is bringing for you guys. I know there's more prospect camp, there's more recruiting, all that good stuff, but we're what now, end of May, so we got June, July, August, and then you guys hit the ice for real again, right?
Yeah. We have our June prospect camp coming up. The $100 early registration fee ends on June 1st. That's a good opportunity to try and get a cheap camp for 6 hours of ice.
That's at the end of June, right? 24th or 25th or something?
23rd, 24th, and 25th at Peoria.
Okay.
And then after that, I'll look at the NHL schedule will come out. So then I'll look over at Gila River as far as getting our rivalry games out there for all three of our teams.
That was a huge success last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The guys loved it. The arena treated us very well. I'm sure they were surprised on what we brought in there, and I think they may be a little more prepared. I know John over there with the Coyotes, who we were dealing with, he tried to kind of convince them that it's going to be big, but
Right.
they weren't sure. But we're looking at having we'll have ASU D2 out there again. That was a good rivalry game out there. We'll play. We're looking to have NAU D2 out there, and then a game with U of A out there as well.
That'd be a big one.
Yeah.
And that's all as long as the NHL schedule matches up to where we could get those games. But yeah, no, that'll be fun. And then with the women's as well, we'll try and get a couple of the games with ASU out there, and then with our D3 team, we'll try and get a couple of the NAU D3 games out there. So.
I know the schedule is not complete probably yet right now as far as dates and everything, but any highlights you want to talk about that you can highlight?
Yeah, you talked about we're right into it. September we go into camp that first week of September. Then we have 2 weeks of practice, and we open up our home opener against Josh Brown's team.
Oh.
With the
Hello.
ASU D1 ACHA. So.
Very cool.
Yeah, and the guys were excited to hear that, but I mean, it's those guys. Josh will have those guys on the ice at least a few more weeks earlier than we start.
Right.
So they'll be well prepared. They're going to be a decent team this year. He's recruiting very well. But like I said, we want to be at this level at Division I. And some of our guys say they want to play D1 hockey,
Right.
and it's here it is. You want to play here.
Prove
I'm going
it,
to introduce
right?
you guys to it. I think we can play competitively, based on what we have coming in, and I know our coaching staff is excited about it. But then we have our rivalries, NAU, Tate's team with ASU D2.
Yep.
U of A, we're going to play. We're going to play U of A at least a couple times next year, but then we'll play more conference games this year, so more against
that'll be
Weber
good.
State, more against Utah State. And that's about it.
Anything in
it's a
Prescott
packed
Valley yet, or is
schedule.
that something that's still up in the air?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything on that. I know our 2 games are planned to be in Flagstaff.
Okay.
Out there, so I haven't heard from AJ with NAU on what the plan is for that. We were trying to set up a women's tournament weekend,
Right.
MLK weekend, but it was too difficult for us and ASU to get a couple more women's teams out there. The plan was to make it a U19 and a college weekend.
Sure.
So I talked to Catfish already, and we are definitely going to plan for that for 2018-19. So,
Very good.
yeah.
Be fun.
Well, Danny, we definitely appreciate your time, especially on short notice. I know
Yes.
I buzzed your phone earlier this morning just to drag you in here, so I appreciate you making the trip, and good luck this summer. Keep us informed as to what's going on over at GCU.
Yep. Thank you.
We'll be right back with segment number 3, I guess, of the night. So time flies when you're having fun.
That's right.
In today's odor elimination, sanitizing, and deodorizing market, air spaces and fabrics are treated with very aggressive, highly toxic, and often very dangerous but cheap chemical-based solutions. These chemicals have harmful residues and pollutants that can impact your health and the well-being of those around you. This is the bad news. The good news is there's something better. That something is OxyPal. OxyPal is a fast-growing company based in Phoenix, Arizona, with franchises opening across North America. OxyPal has developed a way to eliminate, not mask or disguise, all organic-based odors in any airspace or on any fabric surface with ozone, also called trioxygen. Ozone is present in the atmosphere, and it is what protects our planet, our environment, and every living thing on Earth. Through years of research and development, OxyPal has perfected a way to harness and apply this powerful solution to purify airspaces and fabric surfaces safely and effectively, eliminating all organic bacteria, viruses, mold, fungi, and allergens on the molecular level. OxyPow has designed and perfected many next-generation and evolutionary alternative products and services safe for people, pets, and our planet. The solutions offered by OxyPow are stronger, safer, non-toxic, and a great value. Visit our website and online store today at www.oxypow.com. On our website, you can make a service appointment, buy products, or learn more about us and our great franchising opportunities.
All right, what another great show at Hockey Talk with
Angel.
and the Ice Devil. We're live here in Chandler Ice Den.
Yeah.
Our home away from home. I got to
Yeah.
say that because it really is a great spot to shoot a show from, and we encourage people to come out and see us.
Yeah, we're actually in the restaurant portion of Chandler Ice Den,
Yeah.
18 degrees.
18
So-
Degrees Express.
Yeah, absolutely.
From what I'm
So,
told.
Yes.
We'll be here again next week. A special camp special coming up. So if you know anybody that wants to talk about their goalie camp or any camp, come on out
Yeah.
and see us. We'll talk summer camp since it'll be the day after Memorial Day and the unofficial start of summer.
Yep.
So we'll be back next week. We want to thank our guests that we had this week. ASU women's goaltender. One more shot at it.
Jordan
Nash.
Edmonds.
No.
Jordan Nash.
Bolden.
Bolden.
Yeah.
Why can I not remember her name? Sorry, Jordan.
I love it. We got that one down. This one's a lot easier. And the head coach at Grand Canyon University.
Mr. Danny Roy.
Oh, that's always easy. Can we have Danny on every week?
I know, his name is really easy.
All right, we also want to thank the Chandler Ice Den for having us out. They do a great job of hosting us as always. The food is awesome, the drink is awesome,
Yep.
and the action behind us is usually pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome.
So we want to thank you for that. And of course, step out next week with us next Tuesday night when we get a chance to talk summer hockey camp.
And
So for tonight, that's a
wrap.